Click, click, boom! Breaking news, breaking news, breaking freaking news. The Niners free agency period continues. The Niners are going out there and they're getting every piece that we need, man. And I love it, guys. I love it more than you could possibly imagine. The Nothing But Niners crew is here to bring you guys this breaking news. So, guys, you know how I got to do it. I got to go through the formalities. Hit up the website, guys, www.nothingbutniners.com. You're going to see the articles, the breaking news articles. You're going to see the write-ups and everything, 5 ways to fix the 49ers, a little mini-series that we did as a team. And some of these things are starting to come true now, guys. Some of the things that the writer said in there are happening, so make sure you check that out. It's also going to show you our social media pages. Now, we hear that that Twitter is acting up and Instagram is acting up and Facebook is acting up, but it doesn't mean that they won't fix it soon. So, guys, make sure you give us a follow on all those avenues. Twitter and Snapchat are Nothing But Nine ERS, and the Facebook and Instagram pages are Nothing But Niners. It's spelled all the way out. Guys, I am 49ers Mike _NF on Twitter. My man Nick is here. He is 49er Faithful 365 on Twitter. There's no S in there. It's 49er Faithful 365 all day, every day. And my man Tony is in here also, coming live from the dungeon, from the garage. NJ Niner Fan 499 on Twitter as well. Fellas, what's going on? Nick, how you feeling over there, man?
Yo, we gotta make a new show for like Tony's Garage Diaries or something. But dude, I'm super stoked about this. One, you should be super excited about this because he's a bruiser. So that's a goal line guy right there. There's a lot of speculation. Look, this guy's 20. I think he's 28. Is he 28? I think he was 28 years old. But anyway, 2 years, $10 million. He was looking for 7.5 to 8.5. Well, 7.5 to 9 million a year for what he does. As in, what I mean is a receiving back. He's a great runner, and he. Good. You're not on mute.
I was. He's only 25 years old, dude.
5. I'm sorry. I knew it was 25 or 28.
He'll be 26. He'll be 26 in 2 days, technically.
Yeah. So 26. Let's just say 26 years old. My bad on that, guys. I knew he was in the 20s. I just didn't had a little whatever. But
he wore number 26. That's probably what you were thinking of. I mean, no.
28. Yeah. No. 25 years old for 2 years at 10 million. This gives us the opportunity to get Jerick McKinnon going and see if we like him. There's still a possibility McKinnon could be cut after this year. It was essentially a 1-year deal. But most people think that we're going to cut somebody or trade somebody. I don't think we're going to, bro. I think that it's going to be McKinnon, Coleman, and Breida. Because like we were talking about the other night with Le'Veon Bell, all three of these backs do the same kind of thing. They all do the same kind of thing. It's all fresh legs, keeps healthy, and you got a bruiser type back for goal line situations. And you can even put a 2-back system and fake the ball up the middle with Coleman and do a play action to a Breida or a McKinnon on the outside for a touchdown with their speed. I'm super stoked about this, man.
Hell yeah. Tony, man, you called this one, Tony. You called this a long time ago. I need to know your thoughts on this, bro. What's going on? What does this guy bring to the table? Why did you want to see him here in San Francisco?
Nick, Mike, what's up? Faithful, what's up? This is how we're going to rock with this tonight, okay? This guy had his best statistical season under Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta. He's an excellent receiver out of the backfield, which is a check plus for Kyle Shanahan. He runs the ball hard. He can hit the outside zones with no problem. Bobby Turner coached this guy. If you guys remember, you started to see Bobby Turner go to Tevin Coleman more than he did with Freeman in certain cases. Now, Freeman was their initial top-notch back in Atlanta. Then he went down with an injury and Coleman took over. So with that being said, this move, I told you guys, I said, you guys got to watch Coleman. There was rumors last year when he was a restricted free agent that the Niners wanted to get him before McKinnon. But it didn't work out. I think they put a second-round tender on him. Atlanta kept him. We went after McKinnon. It is what it is. New season, moving forward. I will tell you this, though. This whole bullshit that you're hearing in the media as far as the Niners making a last-ditch effort to get Le'Veon Bell, it's all bullshit. They acquired D Ford in a trade from Kansas City, who has the same agent as, Le'Veon Bell. Oh, shit. And you know what? Coleman, too. 2 years, $10 million for potential starting running back. Potential. Carried the load in Atlanta while Freeman was down. This is a huge add. This is another weapon. This offense is going to be insane. You're going to see McKinnon and Coleman in the same backfield. That is insane. Kyle's going to motion them out. It's just matchup nightmares. It's going to get Garoppolo to get the ball out of his hand quick, which he did in New England and which he did last year when he took over from when he got traded to the Niners. Quick hitting passes. Okay. I'm super stoked. This contract is nothing. I'm not worried about the contract one bit. It's 2 years, $10 million. It's probably who cares what it is if Mirage did his work? I don't care. I'll take it for 2 years and $10 million. It's a win for me. It's a win for this organization. It's a win for this offense going forward.
All right, so let's talk about the numbers, guys. Let's talk about the numbers. Now, Tony, you said some interesting things. You said he had his best year under Kyle Shanahan. It depends on how you look at it. As far as scrimmage yards go, he had his best season this year. He had 800 rushing plus 276 receiving for a grand total of 1,076 yards. So that was his best scrimmage year. However, under Kyle Shanahan, check this out. In the pass game, he averaged 13.6 yards a reception with Kyle Shanahan. All right. That was in 2016. 2017, he went down to 11.1. And 2018, just last year, 8.6 yards a carry. A reception, not a carry, a reception. He did have his best season running the ball this year for 4.8 yards a carry. That's his best average of all time. I know Nick had a couple of other things about how he compared to players here in the 49ers. I'm going to give that one to Nick and let him break it down. Go ahead, Tony. What's up?
I just got to say one thing as far as this acquisition to the team and adding him to the running back room. People are saying, oh, well, we signed McKinnon. Well, we got Breida. Yeah, that's fine and dandy. I'm happy about that. We have a legit three-headed rushing attack that is probably the best in the league and depth-wise. All three levels, first, second, third. They could attack you through air and on the ground. But let's look at it from this point of view. Breida had problems staying healthy. I love Matt Breida. He runs his ass off, runs hard. He gets hurt. He tries to come back in the game, and he just overdoes it, and he goes out for like a week or two. McKinnon, coming off an ACL. Granted, it happened all the way back in the first week of September, so he's fully healed. You see the reports of him working out with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's great. But you never know. This guy's fully healthy. He's added to the running back room. It's a great addition. It is a smart addition, and I'm just super pumped to see this offense. I cannot wait till September.
Yeah, it's funny because you go back and you look at well, let me ask you this, Tony, before we get into anything. Do you think you keep saying we have good depth first, second, and third. Do we get rid of Breida or McKinnon this year?
I don't know. Nick, I don't know because, like I just said, those two have injury concerns, okay? And I think, in my opinion, McKinnon's a better pass catcher out of the backfield than he is an actual runner. When he was with Minnesota, he was phenomenal out of the backfield. He was good out of the shotgun, like a second and 13, he would run a draw. Whoever the quarterback was, and would run it, and he would just take off he would get to the edge and go. As far as running style, Coleman has the upper hand in running style. So I would keep all three of those backs. And you possibly, depending how this roster is structured with the 90-man down to the 53, Shanahan might keep 4 running backs. Maybe.
We kept 4 last year.
Yeah. So, but you got to see how the rest of the roster is laid out. We can't make that prediction now because we don't even know who's going to be on the 90 yet. So I definitely personally, I would keep all 3 plus Mostert. If it comes down where you need 3, I think Mostert might be on the hot seat because I think all 3 of these guys are better runners than Mostert, and they don't fumble. They don't put the ball on the ground. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. So I wanted to touch a little bit. So Tevin Coleman had 4 rushing touchdowns last year. That would have led the 49ers in rushing. he had 5 receiving touchdowns, which would have tied George Kittle and Dante Pettis for the most on the Niners as a receiver, receiving touchdowns. He had 199 touches in 18 for 1,076 yards with 9 touchdowns, 4 of those rushing, 5 of those being receiving. Dude, if you pair that with Breida and McKinnon, that's a dynamic backfield. Like you said, Coleman is more of a pure runner than McKinnon is, and I agree with that. We gotta look at this way too, because you got to remember, Breida ended up getting double the workload last year because of the injury of McKinnon and Mostert. So, and then we only had Jeff Wilson, and Jeff Wilson couldn't hold on to the football the first couple times either until later in the season he got better. But Mostert is really good for special teams. But Breida plays special teams as well, and so does I think Coleman plays special teams in Atlanta, and so does McKinnon was actually doing I think in practice he was doing returns as well. So all 3 of those guys play special teams. They all run out of the backfield. They're all spitting images of each other. Now, don't get me wrong, one or the other does one thing better than the other. But to have fresh legs like that in a game, and to, like you said, to be able to game plan and scheme against linebackers and such, pulling those 2 out, dude, it's I can't even. I don't even think of a word. I can't
just listen to this before Mike jumps in. I just want to say this real quick. You could come out in 21 personnel, okay, which is 2 backs, 1 tight end. So that's your pro formation. If you want to call it I, you want to call it split, king, queen, whatever. And he could
hold on. Let me just cut you off right there because we got some more breaking news. So 49ers are re-signing Jimmie Ward to a 1-year deal.
God damn it.
All right, so Tevin Coleman, keep going.
Yeah. I just wanted to get that out there real quick. Not that I'm happy about that.
Now, listen, what they could do, he said he can go up under center. He could read the defense. Stop laughing, Mike. He could read the defense. You have Juszczyk at the fullback. You have Juszczyk at the fullback, and you got Coleman as your tailback, right? So now, if he sees something in that defense, now the defense is going to come out in their base, right? Which is 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 2 safeties, 2 corners. He could instantly shift that offense to go 5 wide, and he clearly has an upper hand with Juszczyk and Coleman running out on routes. You can't stop that in a base defense. I don't give a shit who your corners are, who your linebackers are. Right then and there, Kyle Shanahan has the upper hand. He could trick them coming out in pro all day. Oh, okay, you want to come up in the box? Jimmy yells the cadence out. Everyone splits. Now, who's covering Coleman? You can even do a McKinnon. All right, say Coleman's taking a breather. McKinnon's in, and he shifts out to the slot. Do you know the matchup we have? That's insane. Man, why'd you have to say Jimmie Ward? Damn.
Look, I just had to say because it is breaking news for 49ers news. So it's 1 year, $5 million deal. That's what the deal is. It's better than the $8.5 million we paid him last year. So it's depth right now. And it doesn't even mean that he could $5 million. Yeah, 1 year, $5 million. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that because it's Niners news, so we're already on. So
yeah, I'm not doing no breaking news for that.
Yeah, Jimmie Ward doesn't get his own episode. I'm sorry, but you know what, man? I'm not going to disrespect Jimmie Ward. Listen, man, this is going to sound crazy. Everyone's going to hate me when I say it, but when he's healthy, he's one of the best DBs we have in the secondary. It's the truth. You guys can hate him as all you want. I mean, there's fans getting excited about Jason Verrett working out with the team and things like that. He's more injured than Jimmie Ward and anybody else combined on our team.
If he stay healthy, if that kid could stay healthy, that could be the steal of free agency. I'm telling you right now, Mike.
Yeah, that's a big if, though. That's what I'm saying. Jimmie Ward plus Eric Armstead plus anybody else that's been Matt Breida, it doesn't matter. He is way worse than all of them combined. But I do want to defend my guy because you guys were talking some trash about my man Dominique, and I don't appreciate that. All right. You guys were trashing him, saying that he might be the odd man out. That's right. Dominique Raheem Mostert. I'm saying his full name, okay? His first name is Dominique. That's right. Google it if you don't believe me. You guys aren't going to trash my man, okay? That man averaged 7.7 yards a carry last year in our system. You tell me a Kyle Shanahan running back that's done that. Not a one. Ever.
Matt Breida averaged 8.6. Before his injury, he averaged 8.6 yards a carry.
Not at the end of the season he was playing in. Absolutely not.
Pick me.
What's up?
He doesn't have a quarter of the carries.
I don't care.
And how many times did he put the ball on the ground?
Once. One time. One. Nope. Look it up. Google it, bro.
He did.
One time.
He just recovered one.
Well, that don't matter.
He still put the ball on the ground.
He got it back. It don't matter.
He still put the ball on the ground.
If a quarterback bobbles a snap and then he still has it and makes a pass, does that count as a fumble?
Say what?
If a quarterback bobbles a shotgun snap but he still holds on to it, that doesn't count. He still recovered the ball.
To the ground.
Bro, he's fine.
And recovered it.
Dominique Raheem Mostert averaged 7.7 yards a carry at the season's conclusion. You guys are lucky that he got injured. He would have ran amok on the entire NFL. I got to hold my man down. You guys know how I do for the underdogs. He's making his roster, baby.
Check to make sure he's not from New Jersey.
Shut up, man. Hey, listen, man, this is a lot of fun, man. Tevin Coleman, the new 49ers, man. Listen, man, this team is making some moves, guys, and I got a feeling they're not done yet. I can't wait for day 2 of free agency to bring you guys more breaking news. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on before we get out of here? Jimmie Ward is back with the 49ers under a 1-year deal for $5 million. The front office really, really likes Jimmie Ward. And what's funny is that it's not just this front office. This is his third regime, and all three really, really, really like this kid. There's something there. We just haven't seen it. He can't stay healthy.
All right, so let me just ask you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
I just want to touch on Jimmie Ward before we go forward. Listen, I was just kidding. It sucks that, he hasn't been able to play up to his ability because of injuries. It does suck. We brought him back 1 year, $5 million, and I know I'm probably going to get roasted for what I just said, for what I'm about to say, excuse me. I would take Ward back at 1 year, $5 million, then pay Earl Thomas.
No. What he got from Baltimore?
Yes. I'll take it. I'll take it for one reason. $22 million in 9 months. Okay? That's a huge hit to this cap if we match that, if we went for that. Yeah, but I was the biggest guy to say get Earl Thomas because he fits that secondary the best. But you know what? 30, how old is Ward?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
I think
Ward's 27, I think. 26, 27. I'll look it up really quick.
But
26.
Tony, that actually would have equaled out to $32 million guaranteed within that first year.
Yeah, well, the first 9 months he was paid out $22 million, and then the 10 million for his salary, which made it $32 million.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, I'm not comparing the two, not at all. But for the price and the age, how old?
27. 27
to 30. I just like. I mean, listen, I'm heartbroken we didn't get Earl Thomas, but at that contract, I can't see it. I'm sorry.
And I know Nick wanted to ask me a question, but here's some more value to Jimmie Ward. When healthy, he plays everywhere on that field.
Exactly.
And at a slightly above average rate, too. He's not just filling in. It's not just Maben coming in because we don't have anyone else left. He's good, at least average everywhere in that secondary. That's all I'm saying.
Slot, outside, single high, strong safety. He could do it all.
Yeah.
For 1 year, $5 million, I'll take it. Even though it's all incentive based, but I'll take it.
What our fans don't understand is if we would have gave Earl Thomas that contract, there's no re-signing DeForest Buckner
anyone
here. Like you're not getting a Tevin Coleman. You're not getting you'd have to save what, $10 million just for draft picks? $5 million, $7 around $7 million?
No, it's probably closer to 10 than it is 7. Right, probably so like 8.5, 9.
$10 million towards the draft for people you got to sign. $32 million for Earl Thomas, that's at $42 million right there. You're handcuffing yourself. Why?
Yeah.
Why do that? And then on top of that, you got to hope that you have enough money next year to re-sign DeForest Buckner and extend him. So
with Earl Thomas, he wasn't willing to work with the way Parag Marathe likes to structure them. So right then and there, I kind of knew in the back of my head that this ain't going to work out. But enough with the Earl Thomas talk. We got Ward 1 year, $5 million back.
And all of us here wanted Earl Thomas. It was the contract that's giving us pause. Let's just be clear here. Every single one of us. And I'm the guy that thinks Colbert deserves another shot. And even I wanted Earl Thomas. So let's just be clear here. None of us are saying Jimmie Ward is better than God. No, we would never in a million years say that. All right, Nick, you had a question for me, and we're going to wrap this thing up.
I want to ask you the same question I asked Tony. Are you keeping all three of these guys? And if you're keeping all three, who are you dropping?
No, I'm actually going to keep everybody. My thing is this. If they're on your roster, and this is something that I hate that NFL teams do, if they're on your roster, you can currently afford them. You don't have to get rid of good talent. I don't know where this rule comes from that, okay, we have another guy that can do what this guy does also. Why get rid of him? It's just depth. It's just depth. I'm not getting rid of it. We are in position to have 4 really, really effective guys once the ball gets in their hands. You find me one other team in the NFL that can say that. Raheem Mostert's, Raheem Mostert's 7.7 yards a carry. We've seen what Matt Breida can do. We know what Tevin Coleman can do. And the question mark is McKinnon, but we're not getting rid of him because of that contract. He's not going anywhere. No one's trading for him. So he's here. We got to see if McKinnon can be what we hope he can be in the system. And if he is, no other team in the NFL has the running back group that we have. None. Nowhere.
You know what else this could factor into doing is only keeping 2 quarterbacks instead of the 3. It could factor in you keep one more of your running backs who play special teams and runs the ball, and you drop down to 2 quarterbacks instead of keeping 3. So look for something with C.J. Beathard or even a trade with Nick Mullins. Obviously, I don't want to trade Nick Mullins because I'm a big Nick Mullins fan, but that's just you can work that around in your roster. So that's something to look forward to because we've kept 4 running backs Kyle Shanahan's entire time here. If he wants to keep that 4th, then you have room to move around.
It's 4 if you count Juice. I'm legitimately talking about keeping 4 running backs and Juice.
Right. I'm saying 4 running backs total because Juszczyk was considered a running back on the depth chart. He wasn't listed as a fullback, so I'm saying 4 running backs. So if you take that extra spot and then make it 5, because we've always carried 4, now you can drop down from 3 quarterbacks to 2. So depending on, like I said, keep it going. I mean, keep your eyes peeled on Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard. That could be possibly something that happens later down the road. So, that's it I got, man. I'm super stoked. We got to come up with a nickname with these 3 guys at least. And you could always send Jeff Wilson back to the practice squad. You really could. So you can still keep him if somebody doesn't snatch him up. But Tevin Coleman is the San Francisco 49er, guys. I would have never thought of us adding another running back this year. And I hope that we keep all 3 because I think it's just going to benefit us as Niners fans and the team.
The contract talks, guys. We say this all the time. We look at the numbers at face value. We overreact to it. The contract talks. I'm a little curious as to why it's so low. I'll be honest with you guys. But I'm not going to complain about it. I'm happy about it. I think that's it, though. I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking about – you guys said it's 2 years, $10 million. That's it.
2 years, $10 million.
Something's up. I don't. It's kind of low for what you think you can get. I think that's going to talk more about.
But and not to cut you off, but it could have been just because he wasn't getting the offers that he wanted. So why not go play with somebody he knows?
That's true. That is very true.
So he could have not been in that 7.5 range. So he took the 5 and went with a coach that knows he's going to produce with.
And it's not only that. This could be a type of 1-year prove-it deal with the 49ers holding an option for year 2. So if he flourishes, they can make a decision. All right, we're going to roll with him, or let's throw him on the block and see what we can get for him, or extend him. And like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a smart move. I mean, it could be front loaded. It could be front loaded. He could be getting $6.5 million in year one, and then year two it could be low. So, and again, I'm not saying listen, faithful. I'm not saying Jimmie Ward is better than Earl Thomas. I am talking about contract money comparisons. That's what I'm talking about. Because I know people are probably freaking roasting me in that chat room.
We'll watch it later, and I'll let you know, man. All right, we ready to get up out of here, fellas?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out.